when we were getting ready to leave, I remember just sitting on this kind of high chair, and as she's swiping to order the Uber, that's when we started hearing gunshots going off in the other part of the club. It was around my sophomore year of college where my friend at the time, she invited me to go on a vacation with her family. That vacation was to Orlando. So we get to Orlando and we feel like, oh my gosh, we just want to go out. We want to do something. We want to have fun. So we started looking up clubs to go to where we could just sort of vibe out and, have a good time. So that's how we came across Pulse nightclub. We knew that we needed $10 to get in, and that was pretty much the final selling point for us of going to Pulse because it was only a $10 cover charge. So we're like, we're definitely going. Started walking to the club, and I just remember hearing our kind of music. I'm just like, oh man, this is gonna be a great night. And I see this girl, she has on these money print boots, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl is fabulous. So I was like, man, this is the best night ever. Even the people at the door greeting us, just everybody was just filled with love, and just it was such an exciting experience right from the door. So in the whole night, everybody that was in that club was just filled with so much joy. And then when it was kind of winding down, we went to that hip hop R&B side of the club, and that's where we kind of was pretty much settled for the night. But then it wasn't until the very, very, very end when we were getting ready to leave. I remember just sitting on this kind of high chair, and as she's swiping to order the Uber, that's when we started hearing gunshots going off in the other part of the club. And the shock of hearing that large, just ferocious sound, this kind of shockwave through the club, I just dropped to the floor. Hearing going off, hearing people screaming, hearing, the music beginning to get more muffled, backing up away from all the chaos. And that's what I was doing, just on the floor, just backing up, scooting backwards away from everything that was going on. Literally saw Akira coming towards me, and I looked up at her, and we were outside. I looked up and the sky was behind her head. And I'm like, where is Tiara? Akira said that she's still inside. And I said that we have to go get her. She goes back in, no hesitation. I get up, go back in right after her. Tiara, she's still there by the bar. She's squatting by the bar. It's all this stuff still going on, still fire, still screaming, still people scattering. And we had to make a decision really quickly because at this point of just from those few seconds of us coming out of the club and going back in, the fire sounded so much closer, sounded so much louder. We just saw people in a herd going into the bathrooms. I cannot understand why we made the decision that we made at that moment to follow everybody into those bathroom stalls. There was one large stall towards the back. That's where we went into. We're in there, the door is closed, the stall door is closed. There's one girl in the middle of the herd of us that are in this stall, and she's holding her arm and she's crying. So we're just like, what happened to you? What happened to you? And she said, I've been. And it wasn't until I heard those footsteps come into our bathroom, and the woman just started at everything. Hearing the sound of the bullets hitting the walls and the fragments and just everybody squirming and screaming. It wasn't until his jam that I was really able to process that I'd been just in that moment with having his jammed. I looked down at my legs and I could see that there was just pouring out. And then when I tried to move it, it felt like a boulder had just crushed it. And I started to cry. And I looked across from my feet and I saw Tiara and Akira. And Akira, she was on her phone. She was crying, but she was calling her family. Just from that point on, the men started to interact with us, saying things that let us know that he was staying in this bathroom with us. He wasn't going to leave. He wasn't leaving. He was staying. And now we had entered a hostage situation. And that's what began that 3-hour waiting period of hoping, praying that we get saved. It was so many things that happened during that hostage situation. Just hearing him talk, a lot of things that didn't make sense. Just being on the phone, communicating with the police and things that he was saying, that he was the one responsible for doing it and why, and his country that he was representing, and just knowing that he had in his car that he said could the city block. All of these things, at any given moment, he could begin again. I was so fearful that I was going to get on my face, because when the stall door opens, the first person that you see is me, right there. That's when I saw people just laying over the toilet. And during those times I prayed just for God to take the soul out of my body so I wouldn't have to get again. We just started hearing loud noises coming from other parts of the club. And then you could just hear and something was happening. He started scurrying. And then all of a sudden, he just decided to come inside of our bathroom stall. He has a gun. So he doesn't have the same gun he had before, but now it was a handheld. He shot somebody. He shot another person. And then that person that was next to me, he screamed. And that's when the wall came crashing down of the police coming in and engaging in with the shooter. And them coming in through the wall, it caused all of this debris to just fall. Like the wall, the stall, everything just crushed. Water just started to rise on the floor. So now we're underneath all this debris and this like toilet water basically. So I could see through a tiny little hole through all the debris, but I could just see like the sparks from all the between the police and then just like this deathly silence after that. I just remember just pushing all of the debris and pushing everything off of me and sitting up and just seeing the aftermath of such a horrific tragedy and just seeing people life, seeing Tiara holding Akira in her lap, life. And then the police came in and pulled us out. When I was at the hospital, I just remember thinking that it wasn't over, that they were going to come to the hospital next. And that fear of something else coming, something else bad coming, stayed with me for years, feeling like if I made the right choice to go to the right event, or if I made the right choice at the right time to even go to the store, just that fear of feeling like it's not over, stayed and lingered for a really long time. It kind of created some anger in me. It created some just like real deep-rooted anger, and it created some distrust between me and God. Why did I have to go through this? Why did I have to be Why did we have to experience this? And I was also not with my family. Like I was with somebody else's family. I was just with my friend's family. So just feeling completely alone and isolated and just like in this dark space of just kind of like numbness. And then this heavy sense of survivor's guilt just came over me. Just living in that duality of just feeling grateful and then feeling the guilt of feeling grateful. It caused me to write this poem called The Guilt of Being Alive. And when I shared the poem, I didn't expect for the response to be received with such warmth. And it kind of felt like in that moment, the poem kind of unified us globally, kind of humanized, I think, the people that were in the situation, that no, these are real people. Like this wasn't just something on TV. And it's crazy because that was the same healing tool that I had used growing up in Philadelphia with no mom, without my dad, just sad. That really helped me just kind of start healing a little bit, just like focusing on getting better, focusing on my physical therapy while in the hospital, and just focusing on just figuring out what I needed to be able to get past each moment. Some of my family flew down to see me while I was in the hospital because I was there for a few days. And there's this one video of me trying to walk. And one of my brothers, Kevin, he is the one that captured that video, just like celebrating with me for being able to take a step with my crutches. And that was a huge celebration in that moment. On the outside looking in, it looks like I found love. It looks like my husband and I, we're building this company in honor of his sister, Akira. It looks like everything is going great. And to our family, like we're kind of like like the celebrities of the family at this point. Everybody's looking at us like we've got it made. And in the reality, we're both survivors, both trying to heal, both trying to be the strong one. But the reality is that's not the case. Like life is ebbs and flows, it's ups and downs. So you have to build some sort of resilience, some sort of resolve. You got to have tools, a system for yourself to be able to overcome and thrive when tragedy or when strife hits. That was the name of the game. Staying surrendered, staying open, just losing this hardness of my heart that I felt towards life, and just trusting that everything's going to be okay, even if I don't understand the why, even if I don't understand how it's all going to work out, or even if I don't know what's going to happen next, I'm just going to trust that it's going to be good, even if it's not. What a story that I did not know that it was going to take a shift, because I was so stuck on this girl who went to NYU and had this vision for her life, who thought that she would have a certain way, and then just kind of getting lost in the advocacy, even of feeling like I needed to be the strong survivor. I needed to be this emblem of hope, getting to a point of so much brokenness where I just had to surrender. That surrender and that openness of just trusting God again, trusting that if I put my hope in Jesus, that everything's going to be all right, to then being in this really powerful organization that it seems like a lot of people kind of look to, as like this huge thing. And I just kind of felt like I glided into it. And it's like amazing when you stop resisting, you stop holding that hardness and that unforgiveness in your heart, and you just kind of let all that stuff go. And you just begin to say, you know what, I'm not okay. I'm the girl that needs to sit down and need to do the devotional. I need to do my affirmations. I need to do the things that I'm saying other people need to do, and do it for me. When I actually got the transformation for myself, my marriage improved, everything got better. My music even got better. I became a mom, something I never thought that I would physically be able to achieve. So when I had my son, my entire world, it just completely looked up. So I'm a totally different person now, because everything that I was kind of theorizing before is like I'm actually living now. But just have patience with yourself, give yourself time. There's different ways that we can heal today. And I want to be a conduit, basically, of helping people access that for themselves.